Avery says last Friday you took the afternoon off. He figures you might have been with another woman. The death of love and trust. Imagine her one day opening that. Go ahead, take a look. Not just screwing, Mitch. But the kind of intimate acts, oral and whatnot, that could be particularly hard for a trusting young wife to forgive and impossible to forget. Devastating.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. We do run a news show around here, and so when I tell you that the headline is that Bill Gates is a philandering scumbag who banged a Russian spy, I guess, at a bridge festival and then had Jeffrey Epstein extort him, you might say, you know, I've always known Bill Gates is a piece of human garbage, so why would I be shocked by that? But we think it's really funny that now we know that Bill Gates' Russian nesting doll, if you would, is connected to a Russian spy, Anna Chapman, quite famous Russian spy, actually. Bill Gates and his younger Russian lover, and her links to notorious Kremlin spy Anna Chapman. The Microsoft tycoon's links to Epstein are troubling enough. But now our investigation asks, was he drawn into the scandal over Moscow's bid to infiltrate the rich and powerful of the West? You see, the Cold War never ended. It just sort of changed form. And here we have the form. There's Anna Chapman, and this is Malia Antova. That's Bill Gates' little Russian bridge to nowhere, as it were. And that is the Russian spy right there. The two young women stride along a New York street, barely breaking a step, to flash smiles at the camera. Not the only thing they were flashing, apparently. One of them is slightly out of focus, but her face and the face of her friend are unmistakable. The woman on the right is Russian bridge player Maria Antonova, and the woman alleged to have been the former lover of billionaire Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates, and the financial beneficiary of the late financier Jeffrey Epstein. What makes this photograph sensational, however, is the presence of the flame-haired woman on the left. She's none other than notorious Moscow spy Anna Chapman. This week, the world-exclusive investigation by the Daily Mail has uncovered the potentially disturbing and unexplained link between Gates' erstwhile Russian lover and Chapman. While there is no evidence of any wrongdoing, it is interesting that now Gates is in bed with what could be a Russian spy. Despite repeated approaches this week, it is not known whether the 67-year-old Microsoft boss had any knowledge of the potential link between Antonova and the KGB officer. What? Here's Bill Gates and the Ruski. Here's Bill Gates and Epstein. Not pictured, the oil painting of Bill Clinton in the semen-stained Monica Lewinsky dress. But here we have, ladies and gentlemen, the old Russian nesting doll for Bill. There you go. Anna Chapman also worked as a fashion model. Look at that. Hey. Tomb Raider. The Tomb Raider, that's exactly right. This is what you get with 67-year-old Bill Gates. He does look like he's ready for the tomb. Last week, however, the spokesperson admitted that Epstein, who had been known to cultivate relationships with ultra-wealthy people, threatened Gates to do his bidding. This is, I think, very important, because it's the first time that these powerful people have admitted that this is what Jeffrey Epstein did. Bill Gates has flown on the Lolita Express many times, was an anchor donor in a multi-billion-dollar global charitable fund, which of course was just a money laundering scheme. The pair had more than a dozen meetings, as Gates once flew on Epstein's private jet. We all know what happened there. He has since said he had regrets meeting with the disgraced financier. Oh, really? Really? You really regret it? Really, Bill? Tell me, does this sound like regret to you?
Epstein had a way of sexually compromising people. Is that what Melinda was warning you about?
No, I had dinner with him, and that's all.
And that you regret the relationship, the acquaintance?
That I had dinner with him.
And the relationship between the foundation and Epstein, which
There never was any relationship of any kind.
Liar! You lie. That's not true. I mean, like, that's not true at all. It's like there's all these news stories out now about how, and your own spokespeople admitted that Jeffrey Epstein was extorting you and your affairs. You creepy weasel. I mean, it's like really interesting as to how these people operate. Actually, it's quite fascinating because, you know, the situation is somewhat similar to Eric Swalwell. When Eric Swalwell was nabbed for sleeping with a Chinese spy. It's somewhat similar to that. They take these doofuses who are like a 2 on the American man scale, like clear betas, and all these other things, slobs, and they take these individuals. Eric Swalwell is somehow like a 40-year-old man with acne still. It looks like a Proactive commercial. You take these guys that have clear self-esteem issues, okay? And then you have some, you know, you have like a hot Russian go snuggle them, and these guys spill their guts. They spill their guts. This is the Russian spy Anna Chapman. Anna Chapman is like one of the most famous Russian spies ever, and she's hanging out with the same person that is apparently bagging Bill Gates. I don't know, man. This seems like a bit of a KGB virus, and Bill Gates would know about antivirus. That is for certain. So, what does Bill Gates' next of kin have to say about this? What did Melinda Gates have to say about her husband being a complete creep?
You know, it was also widely reported that Bill had a friendship or business or some kind of contact with Jeffrey Epstein, and that you were not, that was very upsetting to you. Did that play a role in the divorce at all in this process?
Yeah, as I said, it's not one thing, it was many things. But I did not like that he'd had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you made that clear to him?
I made that clear to him. I also met Jeffrey Epstein exactly one time.
Did you?
Yes, because I wanted to see who this man was. And
why did you want to see who he was? Because your husband was hanging out so much with him. That's why. Continue, Melinda.
I regretted it from the second I stepped in the door. He was abhorrent. He was evil personified. I had nightmares about it afterwards. So, you know, my heart breaks for these young women because that's how I felt. And here I'm an older woman. My God, I feel terrible for those young women. It's awful.
You felt that the moment you walked in? I didn't realize that.
Awful.
Yeah. And you shared that with Bill, and he still continued to spend time with him?
Any of the questions remaining about what Bill's relationship there was, those are for Bill to answer.
Well, he's getting a lot of questions answered now. Bill Gates seen in public for the first time since it emerged that Jeffrey Epstein tried to extort him. Here's what I think is very interesting and telling about this article, and we've covered this news, right? You know this. She's clearly connected to Russian intelligence, right? So she's hanging out with the foremost KGB spy in America, right? This is, of course, the body habitus of a broken, sad beta male who's obsessed, by the way, with your health. This guy, this is the body of a guy who's obsessed with your health. You better do everything he says because he is the healthiest. You've never seen anyone healthier. Here, just one little thing that you got to see. Bill Gates, he was photographed leaving some meeting in LA, and he has some assistant come and wipe his Dr. Pepper bottles for him. So he was greeted by an aide who wiped and then handed him a Diet Dr. Pepper. So his Diet Dr. Pepper gets wiped for him. Do these seem like good people to you? Seem like good people to you? You have like someone who comes and wipes your drinks for you? That's this sole person's job in life? No. These are terrible people. They're terrible people. It's what you call a virtue signal. They've signaled that they're virtuous. They're not virtuous. These people are scum. Okay? And they deserve to be treated like scum. We are deeply anti-Bill Gates on this channel, mainly because we're patriots, and we don't like people who are sleeping with the enemy. That means you too, Eric Swalwell. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're not sleeping with the enemy. We're sleeping with Americans, our wives. And we're having a great time doing it. And if you can support us in doing that by liking and subscribing to this channel. It's your boy Benny. See ya.